What's cracking, big yo? Welcome, bike, to the channel. Welcome, bike, to the headquarters. What's good? What is good? We are strolling in. This is probably the live replay for a lot of y'all. But for those Patreon members, what's good? Cammy, Mike, Joshua, Dominic Esposito. I haven't heard an Italian name like that since I hung out with Snacks on Monday. Brendan, Jiggity Puff. Honey. Is that from Bound 2 from Kanye? Chris Joan, you got rolled, was good. Kevin, I miss you too. I miss you too, baby. So we actually got a new camera set up right now. So this should be a little bit crispier, at least on me. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how I want to continue to do this. Yes, Bound 2 is one of my favorite Kanye songs, at least of the last like 5 to 7 years. Because I don't have a lot of favorite songs from Kanye over the last 5 to 7 years. Was cracking, Nino, Scotty, Sladen. Yeah, bro, I really liked the video that Noah put up. For those of y'all that are finding us through YouTube, my name is Nicholas. This is Big Dog's Gotta Eat Fantasy Football. Every Saturday we do Q and Assault, question and answers for your sit starts for the Patreon members. Let me throw up a little animation on here so I can let y'all know what you get for becoming a Patreon member. Nope, that ain't it. Hey, there we go. So you get access to our Discord channel, which gets you into here. You get the Q&A weekly live stream. We're going to continue doing these. I'm probably going to bring Noah and Mike on in the offseason to do a lot of Dynasty talk because we also open up Dynasty leagues for Big Dogs Gotta Eat Patreon members. We open up about 150 last year. I plan on doing 150,000 next year. All right? So shit's looking good. I'm feeling great right now. I don't know why, but I feel fucking fantastic. No more parties in LA. Also a great song. You're right. I would say there's probably like 5 good Kanye songs over the last 5 years. Let's get into the Q and Assault. What's good? Henry plus Woods for A-Rob, JT, and Madison. So you are letting go of Derrick Henry, and y'all make sure that y'all let me know the scoring type. So standard, half PPR, full PPR, and if it is a dynasty league, obviously throw that in there too. So Cammy, we've got Derrick Henry plus Robert Woods for A-Rob plus JT plus Madison. I'm probably going to stick with Henry there. I think he's probably the top player in this trade overall and probably the guy that I want to roster. He's already done with his bye. A-Rob obviously looks fantastic, but I really don't know how long we're going to be able to trust Nick Foles there for. And I think we'll see a little bit of inconsistency with A-Rob like we have with Woods, though he's looked fantastic. Madison's obviously kind of like a 1 week bye. I do expect Dalvin Cook to be bike next whenever their next game is. They got the bye and everything. So I'll probably take a very, very slight lean to Henry unless you're super desperate for a win this week. Obviously, Alexander Madison is a guy who can kind of push you over the edge like fucking Simba. Wait, was it Simba? No, Scar pushed Simba's Faja. All right? This is what we're talking about, Lion King trades over here. I asked on the Go chat, what's up, Joshua Boyle? Josh, thank you for being part of the GOAT Patreon tier. If anyone is on the regular Patreon tier, we do have 2. So we've got the regular, which gets you all the stuff that I mentioned before. The GOAT gets you in a chat, a Discord channel with myself, Noah, and Mike, in which you're going to get pretty much a guaranteed answer from us and some other sweet nothings being whispered into your ears. I was offered his Le'Veon Bell plus Jimmy Graham. Oh, okay. This was the question. I actually think I got stumped, and then I was like, I'll come back to it later. So I would actually take the Le'Veon Bell side there, man. Jimmy Graham, like low-key, leads the league in red zone targets, and I think Le'Veon Bell is going to be a nice RB2 going forward, and I don't trust Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray has like upside in the sense that if Kamara goes down, of course, like he's an RB1, but Bell has upside that I don't think is predicated on CEH going down. So I kind of like the Le'Veon Bell because you don't have a lot of running back power. You got Jacobs, you got MG3 who's out, you got Mark Ingram. I mean, I guess that's not relevant for Bell, but you have Mark Ingram who you can't trust, Zach Moss you can't trust, P. Ryan you can't trust. Yeah, give me that Le'Veon Bell side because you need the running back. Okay, let's see. Full PPR, pick 2, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, McLaurin. So I'm not going to think too hard about this. It's definitely Cooper Kupp for me. Full PPR is one of them, and I'll take Mike Evans. Tough matchup with Jair Alexander, but I'm not really trying to get McLaurin in there against James Bradbury. So I'll go with the first 2, Tone. Mike Petrowski, Minshew or Cousins if Chark is out. Yeah, give me that Cousins matchup against Atlanta all fucking day and night and tomorrow morning. Let me pull up a couple pages here so I can dive a little deeper. Yeah, give me Kirk Cousins for sure. If at any time you guys want your sit-start question just answered without any nonsense coming out of my mouth about it, the rankings are up on Patreon as well. They are up to date, updated in real time as I hear news come in. Patreon.com/BDGE. Yes, give me Kirkland there all day. What else we got here? You got rolled. Full PPR. Would you start Shenault over Jefferson if Chark is ruled out? Honestly, probably not. I'm still gonna go with Jefferson there. I've got a lot of trust in not trusting Atlanta's defense. Okay, I'll still roll Jefferson. You gotta like what Shenault's been doing, obviously, but like any given day could be like the Keelan Cole day, you know. So I mean, it's close. Like, they're both very good starts, I think, this week. But I'll personally go with Justin Jefferson. Boy, Nick, been working. You fucking right, baby. We out here. Woo! What's up? Let's see. Heck, Cammy coming in with the second question. Okay. Half PPR, Henry plus Woods for A-Rob. Okay, we already answered that one. So, Rojo and Edelman for Keenan. Do we have any updates on Keenan? I don't like trading for players that are hurt, although he might not actually be hurt. If we have good reports on Keenan, I would just do a little research, depending on where he's at injury status-wise. I would take the Keenan side of that. But if it's something that's going to linger or we expect him to miss a couple of weeks, I would stick with Rojo. What's up, Nick? Hurting pretty bad was good, Mr. Danny Sullivan. Wide receiver 3 for this week and the remainder of the season. What are your thoughts with hanging on to Mr. Denzel Mims? He's so damn gifted, but plays on the damn Jets. Yeah. I mean, listen, you've come this far. If you've already hung on to him, he's probably like a week away from actually suiting up. I don't think he's supposed to play this weekend, right? Pretty sure he's already been ruled out. But, yeah, I mean, like, there's upside there for sure. He could take over as the alpha on the outside. Non-committal on whether or not he'll come off the IR this week. Listen, he's definitely droppable. Like, if you have someone you'd rather go after on the waiver wire, like if Mecole Hardman's on the waiver wire or someone like that, I mean, you don't need to hold on to Mims. Does Claypool get a big bounce with Deontay Johnson out? Yes, he does. I updated my rankings this morning when I heard the news, and I think I put Claypool all the way up to... Where did I put him? I got him at wide receiver 26, which I guess doesn't really sound that high, but he's right behind Terry McLaurin. I probably got to move Hollywood Brown down a little bit, yeah. So I got Jefferson, wide receiver 20, Tyler Boyd, 21, Juju, 22, Odell, 23, McLaurin, 24, Hollywood, 25, and then Chase Claypool, 26. And honestly, with Brown getting coverage from Darius Slay and the soft middle defense of Philly, where I think is going to be a big Mark Andrews game, you could probably argue Claypool all the way up there. I am a little bit hesitant to see what the snap counts are like with James Washington, if he plays over Claypool as a wide receiver 2 or not. But yeah, I mean, Claypool is definitely up there as a really good, strong flex start. The orange really bring out your eyes. My eyes look like they're like shit brown color right now, but I promise they're hazel, I think. I don't know if you could see it there. I'll never go that close up again, I promise. No one needs to see that shit. James White or AP? I'll roll AP there. What do you think of Melvin Gordon rest of season? It's hard for me to really weigh in on this. I think he gets. I'm pretty sure, according to the NFLPA, the citing that he got is maybe a minimum of a multi-game suspension. So I think I'm pretty sure, unless everything gets dropped, he's probably going to get a multiple game suspension for the DUI. And this seems like a disciplinary sitting by the team already. So it could get messy there pretty quick. Would you sell Michael Thomas high or hold him right now? It would depend on what you're selling him for. Like we talked on Fade the Public this week, where Animal was sending out, he wanted like Juju and Brandon Cooks, and he was giving away Michael Thomas. And in that sense, I would not do that because that's not selling high. That's like, it's almost like selling fucking low on him. So if you can, I mean, he's not untradeable. He's definitely not untradeable. So I'm fine with it. Oh, Nino said 1 point PPR. Okay, 1 point PPR would probably make me swing over to the James White side. Should I trade Juju for Hollywood? I have Deontay Johnson Dynasty. Oh, Dynasty League. Nah, Dynasty League, I'll probably hold on to Juju and see what happens this offseason. See if he moves to a new team or something. It's close, though. It definitely is close. I think Juju's like not, his head ain't in football right now, man. His head's in fucking being a celebrity. That's what happens when you're 22 years old and you get famous nowadays. You're too hyped up on social media. You get too hyped up on all the fucking women in your DMs and whatnot. So I'm just saying. Juju probably got more college girls in his DMs than at a fucking frat party. I traded Henry for C-Mac in a season long. Yeah, I don't think I would have done that. We might not see C-Mac for like another 3 weeks, to be honest. Full PPR, would you start Chark over DJ Moore if Chark is a full go and facing a juggernaut? Would you? Yeah, at this point, Chark is very, very untrustworthy given the ankle. Like, we know he's questionable, which means even if he does play, he's going to be less than 100%. So I would go with DJ Chark there. I mean, I would go DJ Moore there. Too many fucking DJs in this bitch trying to play music. Moore over Chark. Facing a juggernaut, would you start Drake or Gesicki at flex for upside? I think the matchup for Drake is too good. I'll probably go with Drake there. So I have to pick 3 for Kevin. DJ Moore, Edelman, Justin Jefferson, Odell. That's close. I think I would actually probably sit. It feels weird saying this, but according to my rankings, I would sit DJ Moore against Chicago, and I think I would. He's shown nothing that gives me confidence. Like, he had a 4-catch game where he turned 1 into a long touchdown, but it was against the Falcons. Like, the volume's just not there. Like, Robbie's the clear one. So I'm actually going to play Edelman with Cam back. Edelman, Jefferson, Odell. Full PPR, Julio, Higgins, or Hardman. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to get a few Julio questions. I am not feeling good about Julio. My personal opinion, I tend to like go risk averse when it comes to dudes coming off these injuries, and I feel like Julio is no way he's 100%, although they took him off the injury report. I don't know, man. That being said, I mean, you have to choose one. So you got T. Higgins at Indy. AJ Green supposedly is a full go, so maybe he takes Xavier Rhodes. Mecole Hardman at Buffalo without Sammy Watkins, I kind of like. Man, that is tough. I guess given that the other two options like really aren't that strong, if Julio is suiting up, I guess I'll play Julio there, Gene. But like if you're kind of more risk averse like me, I'm not gonna be mad at you for going elsewhere. Where did we go? Nicholas, what do I do with DJ Moore? What kind of value would you trade him for? It's a 12-man PPR redraft, and nobody is wanting to trade for him. I'm thinking maybe Justin Jefferson or Jerry Jeudy. I would definitely, that seems like kind of lateral-ish moves for me. Like I think Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore are probably all in PPR about low-end wide receiver 2s, high-end wide receiver 3s for rest of season. So at that point, it's not like a must-move guy. DJ Moore is a guy who, I don't think that many people. There were a few people in each league that were like excited about him, and I think half the league like didn't really care about him. So the fact that he hasn't done much probably kills his trade value, trade market. The dynasty community loves DJ Moore, but the problem is when you're playing in like friends and family leagues and redraft, guys who haven't been like looking at this shit all summer, DJ Moore like really wasn't a guy to get too excited about, which kind of caps your trade market when you're playing in those types of leagues. So yeah, I mean, listen, I guess in that sense, like I'm probably not going to move him for Jerry Jeudy. I'd be okay moving him for Jefferson, but I can't sit here and be like it's a big win either way. Dak died. Car on by. I'm stuck throwing Madison in my super flex unless you would recommend me picking up Kyle Allen. Nah, dude. Madison's fucking top 10 play this week for sure. Feel good about it. Sucks not having a QB in the super flex, but I actually the win I just had in E-Town Get Down, I threw I threw fucking Naeem Hines in my super flex. Got me like 3 points. I still gutted out a dub because Ryan Tannehill scored that touchdown at the end, and I won by 2 points. It was a big fucking win. It was like 144 to 142 or some shit like that. It was a character building win for the E-Town Get Down squad, and I'm feeling fucking phenomenal after it. We were all staying up like way past our bedtimes Monday night. I'm getting fucking old, man. You can't be having games that go towards like midnight. It's crazy out here. What the fuck was the question? Oh, Alexander. Yeah, you're fine with Alexander Madison in the Superflex. What's up, Nicholas? Currently sitting at 5-0 thanks to you. Nah, man, you make the moves, not I. There's plenty of people that are probably 0-5 because of me, so I don't like to take credit, and I certainly just take a lot of shit. Here's my question. Start 2 running backs. Mike Davis, Ronald Jones, Devonta Freeman. Start 2 wide receivers. Galladay, Robinson, McLaurin. Without knowing what the scoring type is, I'm probably going to go Davis and Ronald Jones there, and I'm definitely going to go Galladay and Allen Robinson there. McLaurin I hate with the Bradbury matchup. And Freeman and Ronald Jones is actually, I mean, you're definitely playing Mike Davis. He's like legit been, I think, the RB1 over the last month. But between Jones and Devonta Freeman, it's close. I like Jones more. Would you put Jefferson in Irv, or should I start Hurst? Dude, I'm just not a believer in Irv as long as Kyle Rudolph is here. Like, talented as fuck, but, you know, they've kind of flashed their hands on what they want to do here with the tight end position. So I would probably go Jefferson and Hurst. Last one for you, my friend. What's up, Danny? You hanging on to just one, both, or neither of Alexander Madison and Mike Davis for the remainder of the year with C-Mac and Cook being banged up? And yeah, I would hang on to both. This year, like, this is just such a wacky fucking year. Those handcuff guys are super valuable. Literally, like, they've been week winning. You know, Mike Davis has been a fucking godsend for people that picked them up. So, yeah, I'd probably hold on to both of those guys. Can never have enough running back upside. Half PPR, 2 wide receivers, Cooper, Woods, A.J. Brown. Super, super close. Let me look at the rankings. Cooper would be my 1. Yeah, so it's funny. I have Cooper at wide receiver 10. I have A.J. Brown as wide receiver 12, and I have Robert Woods at wide receiver 15. So Woods is the odd one out there. But, like, they're all very close. I mean, Cooper's just been way too good. He got the matchup with James Bradbury last week, so I was not surprised with the down performance. And A.J. Brown is officially fucking bike. So I'm gonna get Cooper and A.J. Brown into my lineups there. Dynasty League from Brendan. What's up? Got an offer where I give up Godwin and Gaskin and receive Mike Davis and Miles Sanders. My RB wide receiver depth is solid, and I own C-Mac. So it's pretty much like Godwin and I have no problem with it, man. I would take Sanders over Godwin straight up in a Dynasty League, and I highly doubt Gaskin is like the long-term solution for this Dolphins bike field. They probably go out in free agency or do something else. But yeah, I think I would err on the side of the Miles Sanders stuff, Brendan. Daniel, who should I start as my flex? Julio, Ronald Jones, Laviska, Devonta Freeman, McLaurin. Standard League, I'm probably going to go with Ronald Jones. Too much else. One of those would, which of those I think you meant? Would you rather, like, what? Yo, I've just had a fucking seizure trying to read that shit. Please proofread your shit. Have your mother look at the text before you send it. Roster, full PPR, rest of season. Hines, Moss, or Josh Kelly? Fuck. Probably Josh Kelly, because at least we know he has a role. Can't trust Hines or Moss at all. Choose 2 of 3. Okay, so I'd go Josh Kelly and, I don't know, flip a coin between the other 2. Fuck both of them. Anyway, you're starting Hardman or Drake this week, full PPR. Yeah, I mean, Drake is my RB20 overall. So, like, you're more likely than not starting him because of the matchup with Dallas. They've been terrible against opposing running backs. So I would go Drake over Hardman, but I think both of them are fine. Not great starts, but definitely can have them in your lineup. Jiggity puff. Jiggity puff. Terry plus Damian Harris for Gaskin. I got offered this. I'm the Terry owner. If you need a running back, man, like, I'm fine with the Gaskin side, to be honest. I think it's a fair trade. I think if you have wide receivers, like Terry, I'm a little bit nervous about Terry, obviously, with Kyle Allen in there, just throwing fucking spaghetti fucking noodles. So I'm fine either way. I'll take Gaskin if I need an RB2 badly. Who would be your must-buy players per position rest of season? God, that's I don't know. I'll have to watch tomorrow's games to kind of recalibrate on it. I think that might be a little too much for me to answer at this moment. I'm not calculating. Oh, let me get my coffee. Maybe I'll get my coffee and then I can get bite to that question. Give me un momento. Just a quick reminder for y'all out there. If you want to be a part of this Q&A where you can ask your questions, you could do so by signing up. So be a Big Dogs Patreon member, patreon.com/BDGE. What a fucking point that was. Okay, you got rolled. Flex Lindsey with Gordon out over Jefferson, full PPR. I don't think so. I think I would still roll Jefferson there. I'm not sure what the split is going to be like between Lindsey and Freeman. I don't think Lindsey takes over the workhorse role. First game back from injury against a tough Patriots defense. I'll probably go with Jefferson. OBJ or Gurley, full PPR. Ugh, ugly, but I guess you got to kind of roll with Gurley here. I'm going to roll with Gurley. Choose 2 full PPR. Stanford, Minshew, Cam. I'm assuming you meant Stafford. Right? Stafford, Minshew, Cam. So Cam is the must start for me for sure against the Denver defense at home. And then I've got Minshew high too. I'll probably move him down a little bit if DJ Chark's not playing, but I'll go with Cam and Minshew there, Frankie. Is Deontay Johnson now droppable? No, I would not drop Deontay Johnson yet. Best running back to stash for possible mid to late season breakout. Brian Hill, Zach Moss, or someone else. Yeah, I like Brian Hill a lot. I think most of the guys that are probably, breakout second half guys are probably already owned. They're probably those, handcuff dudes that come in case someone gets injured and are pretty much basically if you had a handcuff, like you're playing him this week. I think Chase Edmonds probably gives you the best chance of like actually hitting that high upside as the backup right now. Other than that, yeah, I'll be owning Brian Hill just because I fucking think Todd Gurley still stinks, but I have very little faith in Zach Moss because Josh Allen is just too effective on the goal line there. What's your OnlyFans? So let me ask y'all, like OnlyFans, I have no idea really anything about it other than like the social media jokes. Is everybody that does an OnlyFans, is it like strictly for just sending out nudes to people or doing like live? Did normal people have OnlyFans to make money? Like, what the fuck do they do besides show their ass on it? Full PPR. Thielen is my wide receiver 1. If ducking McLaurin versus Bradbury, I thought you were actually trying to say fucking, and my phone auto switches from fucking to ducking. Regardless, if ducking McLaurin versus Bradbury, are you preferring the low variance reward of going with Jefferson as wide receiver 2 or the synergy of Ben, Juju versus Ben if QBs for stacking? Good question there. I like both Jefferson and Juju. I think I have both of those guys already ranked above McLaurin because of the matchup. So I have Jefferson, I believe, as a wide receiver 20, and then like Juju as wide receiver 22. I'd probably roll Jefferson. Are you confident in starting Julio this week? No, I'm not. If I had good options, I would start them over Julio. I have to update my rankings to see where I like Julio this week. But no, like I very rarely have confidence starting guys who he's been injured or came out of the game in like each of the last 4 games. So no, very low. What's been up with Lamar? Mark Andrews and Hollywood have been underperforming hard. Yeah, Lamar's just, I don't know, man. I think this offense overall just like took a big hit in the offseason, losing some of their offensive line, and I think it's showing. Like their run game has not been good. His arm statistically, like efficiency-wise, he's pretty much done exactly what he did last year in terms of like yards per attempt, completion percentage. The volume just isn't there, and I think it's been a little bit tough with the blocking up front. Will I ever become Browns fan? You know what that reminded me of? Like when I had to do stand-up on stage and my friends wrote the jokes and like I never knew how it was going to go. Some of them wrote like awkward-ass jokes and some of them wrote funny ones and some of them wrote ones that were like really long. That was one of them where it was just made no fucking sense. There was no beginning, middle, or an end. There was no story involved in it. Will I ever become Browns fan? I don't fucking know, Dev. What are you talking about, Devin? What are you on? What are you on, son? Daniel Chima, should I add Lindsey and drop Deontay Johnson? I mean, Lindsey should absolutely be added. If it comes at the expense of Deontay Johnson, yeah, I'm fine with it because Lindsey will end up having a couple big games if Melvin Gordon gets suspended as well. Hopkins, Julio, Robbie Anderson, Edelman, T.Y. Hilton, Chark, or Ward need 4. Jesus, Christmas. Okay, so I don't even, like, why even include guys like Hopkins in there? Like, you know you're starting one of them. Hopkins, of course. Robbie Anderson, of course. Nino, can I get some context behind the scoring, please, sir? I can't answer that without it. Okay, let me clarify. I also got Damian Harris in what? Your question was so far away. I think see Mike Bike in week 8, and I'm in a good position. Pick 3, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, DJ Chark, Robert Woods. Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, and Robert Woods. Smash them likes, people. Yes. Yes. We got 28 people in here and only 10 likes. Which one of you ungrateful peasant Patreon cunts didn't like this video thus far? Sorry, that was mean. That's what you get over here. Jefferson or Julio, 0.25 PPR. That's a very odd way of scoring your league. I'm gonna sit Julio if I can for the most part, and I'm probably gonna look fucking foolish once this week goes and Julio goes 7 for 97 and 2 touchdowns. But I'd rather just take the safe route. Are you doing the live stream for the Bills Chiefs? Yes, we are. Fade the public. We will be live streaming for the Buffalo Chiefs game, 5 p.m. Eastern time. I love that time. We're going to be recording Fade the Public the next morning, so we're going to do oh, my camera might die. Are you going to die? You might die on me. If this camera dies, don't worry. If this screen goes black, I will be putting a new battery in and we'll be back up in like 2 minutes. Are you doing the live stream for the Bills versus the Chiefs? Yes, we are. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Bring your wives. Hide your children. Bring your drinking caps. We'll see you then. Would it be smart to move Mike Davis this week? I mean, I don't think you need to be smart to move him, but for someone to buy Mike Davis right now has got to be dumb as fuck. Like, people know Christian McCaffrey's coming back. What are you going to be able to sell him for? You could sell him to the Christian McCaffrey owner. Maybe that's smart because you could definitely get some value. If I'm a Christian McCaffrey owner, like I would pay a decent price to make sure I have Mike Davis behind him. Higgins or Ruggs rest of season, 12-team standard. Oh, that's interesting. I'm actually going to go with Ruggs. I'm going to go with Ruggs here. I have DJ Moore and Gallup in a 12-team half PPR. Who are some potential trade targets? I would start trying to flip them for. I mean, I guess it depends on the position you're looking for. I'm assuming you're going to be going after like running backs. See if you can grab like a Le'Veon Bell plus. See if you can pull off a Myles Gaskin, Phillip Lindsay plus. I wouldn't hate. Chase Edmonds plus. I wouldn't hate. Something like that. Damian Harris, McLaurin, Chark, or Chenault in flex. I would, man, I have McLaurin and Chenault like at wide receiver 25, 26. So legitimately like flip a coin there. Damian Harris, I'm not high on this week, so it would be one of those 2 wide receivers. If it's full PPR, I might actually lean Chenault there. Also, why are you so low on Robert Tonyan? Well, they get Devontae Adams back this week, so most of the target share is going to go to Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. In my humble ass opinion, Noah Fant has been ruled out. Where do I have Tonyan? Down at tight end 14, I believe. Yeah, I need to see it with Devontae Adams like on the field before I get excited about it. Was popping CJ. How do you think about CH going forward? I watched your video about that trade. Should I trade him plus Thielen for Crowder plus JT half PPR redraft? That's a lot to give up. Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, I'm thinking of CH as like probably like a low end RB2 going forward. He'll have a good week this week probably, and then I think the rest of the way, as long as Bell's on the field, is probably going to be in the mid to low RB2 range, probably closer to lower. So I don't hate that trade for you, man. It's tough to give up Thielen, but getting JT is a pretty big get. Should I start Devonta Freeman as my flex standard league? I don't know who else your choices are. Caleb, pick 2 for me this week. JT, AJ Brown, or Robert Woods. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, sir. I'm going to sit Robert Woods there. I'm going to play JT and AJ Brown. 0.25 PPR. I've got Julio, Fuller, Galladay, Hollywood, and Jefferson. Choose 2 to start. Fuller for sure. I'm going to go Fuller and Galladay there, definitely. Do you think Tanya is Green Bay's Kittle? Relax. Yo, Nick. So I drafted Swift and Dobbins. Analysis. So I drafted Swift and Dobbins for the Bible, but what's your view on them? Analysis, please, sir. I'm in a 10-team half PPR redraft. Yeah, I mean, they're both. I'm holding on to DeAndre Swift right now, but I mean, Dobbins is definitely droppable if you see somebody. I would prefer to hold on to them and see what happens. I think we knew, like, going into the year with these rookie running backs, especially how the summer bled into their outlook. Like, we knew that it was going to be like a month or so before we started seeing them get the role that they want. So I would hold on to them if you could, but they're not undroppable. We'll put it that way. Given how highly you spoke of your boy Bobby Trees this preseason, what are your thoughts on his performance this season going forward? Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I think the overall, like, Rams offensive scheme, I want to say, just the game plan is so run heavy. Like, they're giving so many touches to Akers, Henderson, and Malcolm Brown that it's capping the ceiling of both Kupp and Woods. So going forward, yeah, I'm thinking of him as like a mid wide receiver too, where I thought at the beginning of the year he could have easily finished in like the top 6 or 7. I don't think his ceiling is really that high anymore. Sorry for all the multiple questions. Half my team is all good, baby. That's what you pay to be in here for. You ask the questions, and I assault them. So I lost Dak for the season and did a 3-way trade. I gave up Lockett, Gibson, Parker, Keenan, and Terry. Holy shit, I could already tell you lost. I don't even need to see the other side. To get Julio, Wentz, Melvin Gordon, Robbie Anderson, and Jamison Crowder. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate that trade for you. So you gave up Lockett. It was probably the best wide. Oh, no, Keenan. Oh, you gave up the 2 best wide receivers in the trade, probably. Devonta Parker's been very consistent and awesome. Yeah, CJ, I don't like that trade, man. Leave one on the bench. Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, James Robinson, Alexander Madison, Gibson, or Drake. Holy shit. You can start 5 of those guys? So James Robinson is a start for sure. Alexander Madison, you're definitely starting. Sanders, I'm going to be starting. So what does that leave? Montgomery, Gibson, or Drake? Damn, Montgomery and Drake are really close for me. I want to say I have where do I have D-Mon? I think I have him 1 spot behind Kenyon Drake in my rankings this week. Oh no, I have him up. I have him up pretty high against Carolina. Yeah, he's playing against Carolina. So I'm gonna sit either Gibson or Drake, and I'm probably going to sit. I'm probably gonna sit Drake because he fucking stinks. Some people do workout advice or advice for pay on OnlyFans. Okay, interesting. There's so many other platforms for that. I don't know why they use that shit. Will you ever become a Browns fan? Oh, that's your question. My fault. Roll big blunts for Q and assault. No. Why the fuck would I become a Browns fan? I'm becoming another fan. I wanted to become a Raiders fan this summer. I should have just been like, fuck the Falcons forever. But No, if I'm becoming another... shit. You guys can still hear me. Camera battery went out. Give me a sec. We motherfucking bite. Better than ever. I just traded Mike Davis for Robert Woods. Wow, good get by you. We'll see how long. I mean, I could fuck you because C-Mac might just be out for a whole another ass month. Full point PPR, 0.25 at carry. Choose one for flex. Drake, Juju, or Singletary. Ooh, that's so tough. Hard to trust Singletary. Really hard to trust Drake in a full point PPR. I'll probably just go with Drake. I think he's probably safe for 15 carries, which will get you, an extra 4 or 5 points. He'll probably catch 1 or 2. Yeah, I'll go with Drake there. Daily fantasy must start. I don't know what that question means, but I'm just going to say no. Is Austin Hooper a good tight end for this week? Nah, not really. I think he's like my tight end 13, which leaves him out of the tight end 1 conversation, which if you can't get your ass into the tight end 1 conversation, you probably don't belong in any conversation. How do I convince some of my friends to start a dynasty league? They already do redraft. I mean, you can't really convince them into doing a dynasty league. You could tell them about it, but like dynasty league, you got to make sure that the dudes in the league are committed. Otherwise, it'll fall apart really quickly. My suggestion for real, not trying to like pitch this, but get in a league with the. I mean, you're already a Patreon member if you're in here, so you can get into a dynasty league with the other big dogs. And then if you have a couple friends that want to do dynasty, like if you can only get half and half, or like 3 or 4 people that want to do it, have them get in on this with you. So you could have like 2 or 3 friends that do a big dogs dynasty league with you, and then like 8 or 8 people from the community within. I don't think you can't really like force a fucking dynasty league upon people. It's not a big commitment, but like kind of a big commitment. I was offered Henderson and Justin Jackson for Mostert half PPR. No, we're going to pass on that. We're going to keep Mostert. I've got Chase Edmonds, 0.25 PPR. Chase Edmonds, David Montgomery, and Peterson as my running backs this week because my poor baby Dalvin is gone and Jacobs on a bye. That's rough. Who are you starting between Peterson and Edmonds? They are, I want to say they're like right next to each other. Literally Peterson's my RB24. Chase Edmonds my RB25. This is a 0.25 PPR, so it's not as effective for a guy like Chase Edmonds. I guess it depends. If you want a floor, I'd go Peterson. If you're looking upside, I'd go with Edmonds. I'll probably have a really slight lean towards Peterson, though. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex. All right, let's go with the 2 running backs first. You have JT Mixon. Yeah, you're going to JT Mixon, Mostert. Tough to sit Mostert right now. Jeez. I guess you could flex. So we're going to flex Mostert. You're going to start JT and Mixon. You need 3 wide receivers. You're definitely starting A-Rob. I don't know the scoring. Guys, you got to fucking include scoring. I can't answer these questions without it. Standard versus PPR makes a big fucking difference, guys. And then by the time you put it like 30 messages later, I forgot what your questions are. T.Y., Edelman, Chark, or Ward, 1 point to PPR. I'm going to go with Edelman there with Cam Bike. Redraft, half PPR, super flex. See, that's the kind of shit that's what we talking about, baby. Eric Dreer, shout out to you for the nuance, for the breakdown of what I'm looking at right now. I feel like a fucking scientist. I feel like I'm in the kitchen cooking up and shit. Redraft, half PPR, super flex. Send Dalton and Higgins or Cooks. Get Godwin. Send Dalton and Higgins. Get Amari Cooper. Send Dalton, Drake, Deontay Johnson. Get Michael Thomas and DJ Moore. Ooh. I like that last one a lot. Send Dalton, Drake, and Deontay Johnson. Get Michael Thomas, DJ Moore. That's the one I would sign up for, Eric. What do you think about Justin Jefferson rest of the season? Low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3, pretty much. Guy that you could probably flex and feel okay about week in and week out. Trying to get rid of Clyde any way possible. I have JT, Eckler, and Swift for my running backs, and my wide receivers are Fuller, Boyd, LVS, IVS, MVS. And Deontay, any thoughts on trade packages I could try? Clyde, I don't see a lot of pieces. Like, I'm not trying to move Fuller or Boyd. I'm not trying to move JT, Eckler. I mean, you could try to do something where, like, I don't know when Eckler's going to return. Like, maybe package Clyde and Eckler for, like, a really thick fucking deal, multiple season there, like a real RB1, you know? Like, you might be able to get a James Robinson back. Maybe Clyde and go for, like, Clyde and Deontay or Clyde and, I don't know what the VS is, but try whoever the fuck a VS is as the secondary piece for James Robinson. Or, like, Clyde and Eckler for, you know, a real nice running back. A lot of name value there, but not a lot of rest of the season going forward value. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, or Jameis Winston to target in Dynasty, considering they could all be starting on different teams next year? Oh, good question. If I had to choose one, like, for next year going forward, Daniel Jones is probably not it for me. Really curious to see what happens with Sam Darnold. I think if there's one that lands in, like, a really premier position, it's probably Darnold. Really close between Darnold and Jameis Winston. I'll go with Darnold there. So I'm running with Herbert as my QB from here on out. Should I try to flip Bobby Trees plus Dobbins for Keenan Allen? No, I would definitely make that move if I were you. My tight end one is Waller, out on a bye. I need a bike up. Okay, well, what are your options, sir? I have Henry, Tannehill, Jonnu, and Brown. Jesus Christ, should I keep that sack or trade anyway? 4-1 this season. I mean, you're definitely keeping Derrick Henry. I think Ryan Tannehill is wild. Honestly, I don't hate that at all. But it could kill you some weeks where they rely on one or the other. Definitely keeping Derrick Henry. I like the idea of keeping Tannehill because you don't necessarily need the wide receivers or tight ends to have a big game because he could run in touchdowns. If I'm going to be you, I'm going to try to move one of the pass catchers, Jonnu or Brown. But, like, they're both coming off big games. So see if one of them has another big game and then maybe move them after that. Also, thank you so much for all your help. Noah's been super helpful as well. I went 0-9 last year and got flamed in my fantasy league. My fantasy group me was dubbed the name Owen. Doing a lot better this year. Well, that's on you, baby. Thank you for the support, but, you know, you make the moves, you make the trades, you make the draft picks, all that shit. Somebody in my league traded Cooper and Mostert for Mixon. Yikes. I have Mike Davis, Mixon, and Aaron Jones and Demont. Is there any way you start Demont? No, I'm not starting Demont over those guys. If I'm gonna, you're obviously not sitting Mike Davis or Jones. Like, if you're really feeling fucking feisty and spiky and fucking ignorant, throw Demont over there. Skirt. What else we got going on here? Laviksha. Devin. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of questions. I'm going to rip through these real quick, all right? This is rapid fire. 1 point PPR, start 3 wide receivers. Galladay, AJB, CD, Juju, Judy. Appreciate it, bro. I'm going to sit the final 2. All the J's back there. The Juju, Judy. Judy off the fucking roster. Half PPR from Victor. Redraft, big dog. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex. I believe I answered this for you already. I did. So you reposted it. Already got that answer. How would you rank this wide receiver rest of season from Cammy Tong, Lockett, Robbie, Crowder, Keenan, Kenny G, half PPR? Not accounting for bye weeks, I'm going to go with Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. Robbie and Kenny G are like 1A, 1B, and then Crowder. 1 point PPR, what could I package Malcolm Brown and Ingram for? RB-wise, have David Johnson, AP, James White, and Gore. Nino, man, I would be shocked if you can get anything of value for those two. I would flip it. I would flip him for like a risky running back right now at this point, just to see if you can get some upside. Maybe a guy like, at this point, like Phillip Lindsay try. Even like a Chase Edmonds I would probably take for them. Darrell Henderson is probably about where I draw the line, though. Dylan, DJ Moore for Gaskins or Bell in a 12-half PPR league worth it? Do I need an RB since Jacobs on a bye and Chubb just got hurt? I would take Gaskins. I would take Gaskin for sure. 0.25 PPR from Russell Smith. Redraft. Made some big roster changes this week. I traded away Lamar, Hunt, Woods, and AJB for Kyler, Julio, Fuller, and Montgomery. Good or bad? Well, I'll say the quarterbacks are kind of a wash, so it's Hunt, Woods, and AJB for Fuller, Julio Montgomery. Yeah, I would definitely take the side that you traded away, to be honest. I would. There's no. I almost feel like Kareem Hunt's like borderline untradeable. No backup tight end. Starters. Waller was thinking to grab Hooper, Thomas, Ingram, Burton, Gronk from waivers. Yeah. So if you look at my rankings this week for tight ends, here's how I have. I think all those guys are like super close for me. So starting at the first guy, you have I have Evan Ingram up at tight end 9 right now. After that, I have Gronk at 12, Hooper at 13. And Thomas down at like 18. So Ingram would be my preferred starter there, but I don't really feel great about him. And Nick, what do you think about this trade? Full PPR Dynasty Barkley for Chubb, Boyd, Pittman, and a second. I don't hate that trade for you at all. I moved Barkley for Miles Sanders and Debo, which felt really fucking good. Moving Barkley obviously never feels good, but for a guy like Chubb who's injured, you got past multi-weeks of the injury already. Boyd is a really nice piece. I like Michael Pittman a lot, and then to get a second on top of it, yeah, I think that's about good value for getting rid of a guy like Barkley right now. What's your confidence level on T. Higgins versus Xavier Rhodes? Should I start Preston Williams instead, even though you have him 2 spots lower? Yeah, so I'm not really sure like what to expect because AJ Green is a full participant and he's going to be on the field, but I don't know how much, and I don't know where the opposing team is going to be putting Xavier Rhodes. I would assume he gets Xavier for probably like 50% of the snaps. So, yeah, I have T. Higgins ranked higher, but like I'm not going to be mad at you for starting Preston. What's cracking, big dog? Big question for you, full PPR. Do I roll Terry in my flex against Giants or plop Tanyan in for those red zone targets? Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and tell you to start Tanyan over Terry McLaurin. Just can't do it. Even if you could tell me right now that Tanya's gonna score more fantasy points than Terry McLaurin, and you ain't gonna get me on record telling you to start him over Terry. Just ain't happening. Ain't happening. Do you believe things will turn around for Moore? Biggest bust for me this year, injury not considered. No, I mean, we're 6 weeks into the season. I think we know. By turn around, I mean, he's not going to hit the ceiling that some of us had hoped for. I think we know what he is. And he's not. I would much rather have Robbie Anderson rest of season. And I don't think it's particularly close, to be honest. So, Tanya in a good stash. You need a tight end next week since Andrews has a bye. Who do the Packers play? Yeah, I think Tanya needs to be owned regardless, because of how good he's been in that passing game, and they're really looking for a second option. But remember, Allen Lazard is going to be bike. Devontae Adams is already bike. And who do the Packers play? They play the Texans. So that's a pretty good matchup for him. Yeah, I think he's a fine stash. He definitely needs to be owned, but I'm a little curious to see what he does with all the Basketchels back on the field. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the Q&A assault for this week. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a Patreon member. It is deeply, deeply, deeply appreciated by myself and the boys of the Big Dogs Gotta Eat team. As always, we're working hard for y'all. I've got nothing but love for you guys. So thank you for sticking around. If you watched on YouTube afterwards, also thank y'all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're going to be doing another box break tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're opening up 3 boxes of absolute football cards. We got 8 people that bought in for it. We'll be dropping those on Discord as well. Make sure you're following me on the socials, at Nick_BDGE on Twitter. Just at my name, at Nick Colano on Instagram. You can follow our brand accounts as well, at Big Dogs Fantasy on Instagram, at BDGE __ on Twitter. I love y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Sign up for Patreon if you want to get in next week's Q&A. I love y'all. I'm out. Bye.